So hello guys, welcome back. Today in this video I'll be telling you about the transverse sections, that when we cut the medulla oblongata just like this, what are the various nuclei and what are the various structures seen in the transverse sections. Now first let me tell you that whenever we make transverse sections of the medulla oblongata, we make transverse sections at 4 points. First is at the level of pyramidal decussation. The second one is at the decussation of sensory fibers. The third one is at the level of olives, and the fourth one is at pontomedullary junction, where the pons and medulla are stuck together with each other. Pontomedullary junction. Don't worry, I'll be telling you. So guys, this is the decussation of pyramid. The first section is seen from this range. The second is at the sensory decussation. The sensory decussation occurs somewhere here. The third will be at the level of olives. These are the olives. And the fourth transverse section will be at the pontomedullary junction. Let us start through to the pyramidal decussation, or the transverse section at the level of pyramidal decussation. This is the diagram. This is not the spinal cord, let me tell you, as this resembles the structure of spinal cord. This was the spinal cord. Okay, this is spinal cord. So guys, this is the transverse section at the level of pyramids or pyramidal decussation. This. So if we cut the spinal cord from here, we'll see these structures. This is not spinal cord. This is the structure at the transverse section. However, these both look same, but here you can say there are different horns. Main thing in this video, you have to only remember the structures. The functions will be in the physiology. At the level of pyramidal decussation, first is the nucleus gracialis, the longer one. Shorter one is the nucleus cuneatus. These carry the proprioceptive information, means related to movement of joints, etc. One of the most important things seen is the spinal tract and the spinal nucleus of trigeminal nerve. There are different nucleuses of the trigeminal nerve. One of the nucleus is seen as at the transverse section of the pyramidal decussation. Lateral corticospinal tract, as I have already told you that corticospinal tracts are the tracts coming from brain, means the cortex of brain, and ending up into the spinal cord. These are the lateral corticospinal tract. Here are the spinocerebellar tracts, the dorsal one. This is the dorsal portion, this is the anterior portion, as this is anterior median fissure and this is posterior median sulcus. Lateral spinothalamic tract is also seen. The reticular formation is also seen. This is the central canal. Now one of the most important thing, as soon as the corticospinal tract reaches up to the pyramidal decussation, they decussate here, and these cut off the anterior horns. These anterior portion are cut off, and this will result in the formation of two important nucleus, which are the spinal nucleus of accessory nerve, whereas the supraspinal nucleus of the first cervical nerve. Now what happens? The supraspinal nucleus, this mainly gives the efferent fibers. I am sorry for the handwriting because there is not a good plane to write here. These efferent fibers are always, you know that these are motor fibers. Later on, these fibers will decussate with the hypoglossal nerve. Okay. So this was the transverse section at the level of pyramidal decussation. Now the second, in these diagrams you have to only remember the structures or the position of the nuclei. The pyramidal decussation transverse section has been done. Now I'll come on to the sensory fiber decussation, which will be somewhere here. This is pyramidal decussation. Now here, somewhere here at this point, there will be the sensory decussation. So this is the diagram for sensory decussation. At this point, the nucleus gracialis, which was in the previous diagram, this cuts off, and nucleus cuneatus, means these are more easily visible and more prominently present here. In the middle there is the hypoglossal nucleus. Dorsolateral to the hypoglossal nucleus is the dorsal nucleus of vagus, and more dorsolateral to the nucleus of vagus lies the nucleus of tractus sulterius. Here are the spinal nucleus and the tract of the spinal nucleus of trigeminal nerve. Yes, medial lemniscus. This is one of the important part at the level of sensory decussation. This is because the fibers which are coming from the brain towards the spinal cord, these will decussate at this point, which is called as the medial lemniscus. A part of inferior olivary nucleus is also seen. One thing I want to tell you, that in this reticular formation, it is mainly because of the cross linking of the nuclei and the white matter present in the medulla oblongata. This was at the level of sensory decussation. Now coming on to the level of olives. The decussation, the primary section, the transverse section will be made somewhere here at this level. So when we see at the level of olives, this is somehow the important transverse section. This is because here the main three structures are seen. The first is medial longitudinal fasciculus, which plays a very important role in visual pathway. The second one is the tectospinal tract, coming from tectum to the spinal cord. The third one is the medial lemniscus. Medial lemniscus, I have already told you that arcuate fibers usually enters here. Main function of arcuate fibers or the arcuate nucleus. This is the arcuate nucleus. Arcuate fibers will come here from here and will enter into the arcuate nucleus. The arcuate nucleus mainly receive fibers from the cerebral cortex and will send it to the cerebellum. This nucleus receives information from cerebrum and will transfer it to the cerebellum. Rest of all things are easily visible here. Dorsal nucleus of vagus, this is the hypoglossal nucleus, this is the hypoglossal nerve. Inferior olivary nucleus, this is the vagus nerve. Dorsal nucleus of vagus and nucleus of tractus sulterius. Another nucleus is visible at this point. This is the vestibular nucleus. The tracts, ascending tracts, descending tracts, that are mainly visible in the portion of spinal cord. So this was transverse section at the level of olives. Guys, at the level of pontomedullary junction, no specific structures are seen. Now at the end of the video, let me tell you that from which arteries the blood supply is given to the medulla. First is the anterior spinal artery. Anterior spinal artery. The anterior spinal artery will somewhere enter from this part. Here is the extension of pia mater, which provides the protection to the anterior spinal artery, that we will discuss later on when we will study the extensions of pia mater, dura mater, etc. Now the next artery is the anterior and posterior spinal artery. Anterior and posterior spinal artery. You all guys must be thinking that what's the use of studying all these transverse sections. The one of the important use is that later on when you will get any lesion, when a patient will get any lesion, then you can easily find out that at what section and what level there is the lesion. So guys, this was the all information about the transverse section of the spinal medulla oblongata. Let me add one more artery. I am not adding it by myself. There is another basilar artery. This basilar artery enters into the basilar sulcus on the anterior side of pons. So guys, I hope you've all understood the transverse sections of the medulla oblongata at different levels. Thank you so much for watching this video.